behalf of our permanent witnesses, Secretariat, the honorable members of the committee, and indeed on my own behalf, I wish to welcome you, CS and your team, to your Committee on Local Government Accounts, where you'll be making a submission in response to the Auditor General's report for the financial year ending 31st December 2024. Before introductions and deliberations, I wish to assure you that these proceedings are protected in accordance with Cap 12 of the laws of Zambia that give immunity to the honorable members of parliament for their submissions and deliberations in the House, as well as committee work such as this. The same immunities are extended to you, CS, and your team, meaning that what you say during our interaction and your submission may not be used against you in any courts of law in Zambia and indeed outside Parliament. This is to the effect that you do not willfully mislead your committee. Should you deliberately mislead your committee, the same Cap 12 may apply against yourselves. We take comfort as a committee that you would not opt to willfully mislead us. And so we'll ask you to interact with us freely when called upon to do so. We are celebrating Youth Day and Women's Day on Sunday and Thursday respectively. Happy belated International Women's Day to the beautiful women of Chikankata here and those who are following us in Chikankata district. We celebrate you. In the same vein, Happy Youth Day to our youths. I can see Simon there, Secretariat, another youth there. Happy Youth Week to you. We celebrate you, our future leaders. Thank you so much. Madam, the Women's Day goes out to you as well. Yeah, so we will start our interactions, yes, with introductions. You will introduce yourself and call upon your delegation members. I'm happy. It's a balanced delegation of, I would say 4 male, 4 females, of course with the captain in the seat. Yeah, please, let's introduce ourselves now.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Siasnyanga Christopher, the Council Secretary for Chikankata Town Council. I will allow my colleagues as well to introduce themselves, but I also take recognition of also the other members of Parliament that are here, as well as the permanent witnesses that are here. Thank you so much, Chair.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Chair. And good morning to the members of this August committee. My name is Jonathan Manyanina. I'm the Director of Finance for Chikankata. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, all. My name is Siabaro Siamwinga, Director Planning.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, all the honorable members. My name is Andivonji Perry. I'm the Council Advocate for Chikankata.
Chair, good morning. Honorable members of Parliament, good morning to you, permanent witnesses, good morning. Banda Chikumbuso is my name, the Director of Engineering at Chikankata. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, permanent witnesses. My name is Chomba Chilesha, Senior Procurement and Supplies Officer for Chikankata Town Council. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, and good morning, members of Parliament. My name is David Kalebuka, Chief Internal Auditor for Chikankata Town Council.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of Parliament, and good morning, permanent witnesses. Muvamba Munyanga Cecilia is my name. I'm the Chief Human Resource Officer for Chikankata Council. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Muntanga Mono. I'm the social economic planner. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We go to our permanent witnesses. We can start with the Ministry of Finance.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning to you, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of this committee. Good morning, Chikankata Town Council. My name is Sia Brenda Mdenda from Minister of Finance, Accountant General's Office. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of Parliament. Chikankata Town Council, you're welcome. My name is Aubrey Kasonu Chindefu from Controller of Internal Audit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The employer, the Local Government Service Commission.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning to you. Good morning, members of the committee. Good morning, CS and the team. My name is Mulumbenj Kasanka from Local Government Service Commission under the Department of Human Resource Management Services. Thank you.
Thank you. The parent ministry, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development.
Chairperson, so grateful for the opportunity to introduce myself. And Chikankata, welcome. Honorable members, good morning once more. Southern Province has started chair, and this is the first council on the CDF. You are most welcome. Kazinga Kennedy is my name, from Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. I submit chair.
Thank you so much. The Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members of Parliament, and good morning, Chikankata Town Council. My name is Martin Ngoni, Assistant Director, Southern Province. I think my colleagues will introduce themselves, starting from the one behind.
Yes, the madam behind.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. Good morning, CS and the team. My name is Kerin Jinyamahamajata, Principal Auditor.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. My name is Simon Munyama from the Planning and Research Department, Office of the Auditor General.
Thank you so much, Secretariat.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, members of this committee. Good morning, CS and your team. My name is Beverly Nzala from the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning to you. Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, our permanent witness, and good morning, Chikankata Town Council. Siwale Andrew is my name, from the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly. Thank you.
IT, come and say something also. We want to know your name.
Good morning, Chikankata Town Council. Good morning, honorables. Good morning, permanent witnesses. My name is Tokoza Lungu from ICT National Assembly of Zambia. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We proceed to the honorable members of the committee. We have honorable members who are joining us virtually. We can start with the honorable member for Member of Parliament for Mitete. The honorable member of Parliament for Dudumwezi.
Chairman, thank you so very much, and I'm very grateful. Good morning to you. Good morning, honorable members, those attending virtually and those who are present. Good morning, our dear Secretariat and the permanent witnesses. Chikankata, good morning to your committee. My name is Honorable Dr. Singombe, representing the good people of Dundumwezi constituency in Kalomo, Southern Province. Thank you so very much, Chair.
Thank you so much. The honorable member of Parliament for Mufumbwe.
Thank you very much, Chair, and good morning. Good morning, Chikankata Council. My name is Robert Kamondo. I'm member of Parliament from Mufumbwe in Northwestern Province and a member of this committee.
Thank you so much. The honorable MP for Kaumbwe.
Thank you, Chair. And Chikankata, welcome to your committee. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency, Petago District of the Eastern Province. You're most welcome.
The honorable MP for Siavonga.
Chairperson, I thank you and good morning to you. Chikankata Town Council, good morning. Good morning, permanent witnesses. I'm Mulonda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much. CS Christopher Shakafuswa is my name. I represent the good people of Mandevu constituency. I'm the vice chairperson of the committee. I wish to welcome you to Mandevu constituency. I'm the landlord of the National Assembly. So be comfortable and calm, like Honorable Mtelo would say. I'm sure the network, he must be on the water, because there, the land is, I think, just 20%. Then the 80% is water. So usually when you're on the water, there's a challenge of network. I now wish to invite you, CS, to make your presentation of your memorandum.
Thank you so much, Chair. Chair, before I proceed, I've got few adjustments that which I needed to share with you, that which we needed to make, Chair.
What do you want to adjust, CS?
Chair, that is on, there is a report to do with, on Appendix A.
Appendix A?
Yes.
What is the addition on Appendix A?
So on Appendix A, Chair, is just the issue to do with the dates. I think there were typo errors in terms of the dates, Chair. That's a detailed project completion report. So if you are there, Chair.
The completion report, yes, go ahead.
Yes, Chair, the date of the completion report, Chair, is supposed to read 16th February 2026, and the report date is supposed to read 19th February 2026. And then there's somewhere...
Report date is supposed to be?
The report date is supposed to read 19th.
19th February?
February, yes.
2026.
2026.
You were following the proceedings on Wednesday?
Chair, you always guide us.
All right.
Yes, Chair.
Yes.
So, the same, Chair, also on Appendix B.
Appendix B.
The same type of report. Yeah. On the final completion report. Chair, there is a report date.
Yes.
It's supposed to read 26th February 2026.
26 February 2026.
Yes, Chair. Additionally, Chair, apart from the dates, I think we did submit the pictures that were in black and white. We thought it is important, Chair, that we provide the colored pictures. So I went to submit to the Secretary, Chair.
How many copies are there?
There are 10, Chair.
10 copies,
Yes.
of each?
Of each for the Honorables.
Go ahead. You can submit through Secretariat. The amendments and additional information in terms of the pictorial information is admitted to be part of the report. You may go ahead.
Thank you, Chair.
Before the witness goes ahead, Chair, I'm Mr. Kimuteo, MP for Mitete, Chair. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. We were wondering, are you on a canoe or you're on land?
Chair, water stroke land, Chair.
Thank you so much. CS, you may go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I think I'll proceed by getting to management response, Chair. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. So, yes, you read the query, then you proceed to management response.
Okay. So the query, Chair, is that on specific audit findings, is that there's implementation of community projects, that is delayed completion projects for the construction of an ablution block at Nankenya Community School. Management response, cause of query. The observation of the Auditor General are acknowledged, and management wishes to state that the query arose due to delays primarily caused by the contractor's inconsistent execution of the works. These delays, Chair, led to the contractor's failure to fulfill contractual obligations despite several warnings and extensions granted. Action taken, Chair. Management terminated the contract and the project was subsequently completed using the remaining funds from the project contract through force accounting. Appendix A, Chair, depicts the various evidences that which we have provided. Remedial measure. Management will ensure that only contractors with the requisite capacity, experience, and fundamental project management expertise are selected for the implementation of projects. B, construction of semi-detached staff house at Chikombola Community School. Cause of query. The observations of the Auditor General are acknowledged, and management wishes to state that the query arose due to delays primarily caused by the contractor's inconsistent. Chair, it's almost the same with the first query that which I just submitted. And the action taken, Chair, is that management terminated the contract and the project was subsequently completed using the remaining funds from the project contract through force accounting. The same way, Chair, we have also provided on Appendix B the evidences before yourself, Chair. Remedial measure, management to ensure that only contractors with the requisite capacity, experience, and fundamental project management expertise are selected for implementation of projects. C, construction of a mortuary, mean theatre, and radiology at Nansenga Clinic. Cause of query. The observation of the Auditor General are acknowledged, and management wishes to state that the query arose due to the contractor's failure to procure the mortuary equipment at the quoted bill of quantities rates, which were claimed to be below prevailing market prices. As a result, the contractor could not supply the equipment and duly declared the unutilized funds back to the local authority in accordance with the contractual procedures. Action taken. Management retained the unutilized funds and subsequently requested additional funding from the CDF 2026 allocation, which was approved. Further, management has completed the procurement of the mortuary equipment and has installed it at the facility. Appendix C. Appendix C, Chair, shows the evidences as well as the reports that, Chair, we have submitted before you. On cross-cutting issues, Chair, we have the budget and funding. The cause of query. The observation of the Auditor General are acknowledged, and management wishes to state that the query arose due to the Council not receiving the full Constituency Development Fund for 2024 allocation for Chikankata constituency. While the budgeted CDF amount was 30.6 million, only 9 million was received and 2.9 was retained, leaving a shortfall of 18.7. Action taken. Management followed up with the ministry regarding the funding shortfall. However, the outstanding funds have not yet been received to date. Further, management has since been guided that the funds are expected to be released in 2026 and will be utilized in line with the approved allocations upon receipt. However, management has continued to implement projects using the funds available in the account. Appendix D, Chair, shows the evidences that which we have provided. Remedial measure. Management will continue to maintain regular engagement with the ministry to facilitate the timely release of Constituency Development Fund resources. On Appendix 1.1, retained funds. Cause of query. The observation of the Auditor General are acknowledged, and management wishes to state and confirm that the ambulance for the District Health Department and the two...
You can skip this one.
Thank you, Chair. On 2.1, unspent funds, community projects. I go ahead, Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
The cause of query. The observation of the Auditor General acknowledged, and management wishes to state that the query arose due to ongoing project as at 31st December 2024. Action taken, management wishes to state that the unspent funds have since been spent. Appendix E shows the CDF community project utilization report and bank statement. Remedial measure. Management to ensure the timely expenditure of community project funds within the fiscal year. On Appendix 2.2, total unspent funds, empowerment grants. Cause of query. The observation of the Auditor General are acknowledged, and management wishes to state that the query arose due to some clubs not having active bank accounts at the time management was disbursing the funds. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the affected clubs were engaged, the situation was rectified, and the funds have since been spent. Appendix F, Chair, shows the utilization report and also the bank statement, which we can refer to on Appendix E, because it's combined. It's in one pot, Chair. Remedial measure. Management remains committed to adhering to the provisions outlined in the CDF guidelines for the grants, ensuring that funds are disbursed in a timely manner and under the sub-program. Appendix 2.3, total unspent funds, that is for secondary boarding and skills development. Cause of query. The observation of the Auditor General acknowledged and wished to state that the query arose due to unspent funds that were initially allocated for the component but were later valid and relocated to the procurement of school desks. As at 31st December 2024, the desks were still under fabrication, which resulted in the delay in expenditure. Action taken. Management wishes to state that the funds have since been spent on the fabricated school desks. Appendix G also shows, Chair, the evidences that we have provided. Remedial measure. Management will ensure that all funds are expended promptly within the fiscal year. A total unspent funds, that is on loans. Cause of query. The observation of the Auditor General acknowledged, and management wishes to state that the query arose due to unspent funds resulting from a prolonged approval processes. While the CDFC committee may initially approve funds in line with the allocation, only applications that meet the required financial criteria are cleared after bank vetting. These are then forwarded to the Provincial Government Office for further approval prior to disbursement. When adjustment or queries arise at this stage, the approval process is required to restart, leading to delays in the release and utilization of funds. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the funds have since been spent. Appendix HI shows the CDF loan utilization report and the bank statement. Remedial measure. Management is committed to ensuring compliance with the Constituency Development Fund guidelines. Total unspent funds on administrative costs. Cause of query. The observation of the Auditor General are acknowledged and wish to state that the query arose due to some funds intended to support ongoing activities across the CDF components, including monitoring and evaluation, are to be spent as and when needed. Action taken. Management wishes to report that funds have since been spent, Chair. Appendix JK shows the utilization on the administrative component. Remedial measure. Management remains committed to adhering to the provisions outlined in the CDF guidelines for administration.
You can skip Appendix 3 and go to Appendix 3.1.
Appendix 3.1, Chair, is on the analysis of performance of desks. Cause of query. The observation of the Auditor General acknowledged, and management wishes to state that the query arose due to, as of 31st December 2024, that the desks in question were still under fabrication by the newly engaged contractor. This delay occurred after the initial contractor failed to fulfill the contractual obligations, necessitating the engagement of a replacement supplier. Action taken, Chair. Management has since fabricated all the desks and delivered them to the various schools. Appendix L shows the evidences provided, Chair. Remedial measure. The Council management is committed to ensuring the timely delivery of goods and services while adhering to the Constituency Development Fund guidelines. On youth and women empowerment grant performance analysis, which is on Appendix 6, cause of query. The observation of the Auditor General acknowledged, and management wishes to state that the variance in the approval rate was due to the availability of funds and the need to meet the criteria set for grant allocation. Further, the variance between approved amounts and actual disbursement arose because some payments were reversed as a result of inactive bank accounts for certain beneficiaries. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the affected clubs were engaged, the situation was rectified, and the funds have since been disbursed. Appendix M shows the CDF grants, a utilization ledger, and bank statement. Remedial measure, Chair. Management remains committed to adhering to the provisions outlined in the CDF guidelines for grants, ensuring that the funds are disbursed in a timely manner under the sub-program. Failure to recover loans on Appendix 7.2, cause of query. The observations of the Auditor General acknowledged, and management wishes to state that the query arose due to certain beneficiaries who did not repay loans as stipulated in the loan agreement forms and in accordance with the CDF guidelines. Action taken. Management wishes to report that it conducted follow-ups on non-performing loan beneficiaries, including demand letters were sent, Chair. Additionally, sensitization campaigns have been carried out to educate beneficiaries on the importance of timely loan repayment. Appendix N shows reminder notices to loan beneficiaries and also loan performance report. Remedial measure. Management will ensure continuous sensitization of current and prospective loan beneficiaries on effective loan management and the importance of timely repayment. Appendix 8, bursaries performance analysis. Cause of query. The observation of the Auditor General is acknowledged, and management wishes to state that the variance of 6 skills development students and 203 bursary beneficiaries between those approved and those graduated arose because these beneficiaries were not in their final year of study and therefore were not eligible for graduation during the period under review. Action taken. Management wishes to report that it will continue tracking and monitor the progress of all skills development and bursaries beneficiaries to ensure timely completion of their programs and effective utilization of the support provided. Appendix O, Chair, shows the CDFC minutes on returning skills students and secondary bursaries. Remedial measures. Management is committed to ensuring compliance with the Constituents Development Fund guidelines. I wish to assure the committee that the remedial measures submitted to the committee will be implemented and reviewed for further improvement. This is submitted to this committee. Chair, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, CS, for your submission. I now wish to invite points of clarifications from the honorable members, if any. Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
Page 5.
Page 5.
The construction of an ablution block at Nankenya Community School. This project was awarded to Blue Crystal Innovations, contract sum 496,230, and contract was terminated, and the council proceeded to complete this project using force account. First question is, what is the project status? The latest project status is the ablution block complete using your using the force account, and is it operational?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Chair, the project is completed.
Okay, then we go into contract management issues. This project, on page 5, the outstanding works as October 2025 were fitting of the ceiling, painting, plastering, glazing, and reticulation, water reticulation system. An ablution block at a community school, do you fit a ceiling? Is that a standard design for issued by the Ministry of Local Government for ablution blocks, standard ablution blocks? And is the seating board sitting there? Concerning the same concerning the same scope of work, if we go to Appendix A, there's the minutes of the minutes on page report from Secretariat, approval of the solicitation, the bidding documents, and so on. But pertaining to this particular project is page 5 of your
the minutes.
Yes. So it starts from page 4. Termination of contract for construction of an ablution block at Nankenya Community School. You're giving a background, and on page 5, status of the project, you are saying it was noted that after the latest site inspection, the project remained incomplete with the progress as follows: completed works, ceiling completed, and glazing completed, tank stand and tank material purchased, outstanding works as outlined. Why the contradiction in the progress of a ceiling compared to what you have presented on page 5? Remember, the status of the ceiling on page 5 was as at October 2025. As at October 2025, the outstanding works included the ceiling. And your progress report was on 30th of July 2025. So it means in October, that was already, the progress report had already been prepared. So what was the exact status at the time of audit? Because your progress report shows that before audit, the ceiling was completed. So first question, is it a standard to have a ceiling in an ablution block?
Yes, you may respond.
Chair, I'll allow the Director Engineering to respond on that one.
Director Engineering.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you, Honorable, for that particular question. We do have received standard designs and BOQs that we are using under the Constituency Development Fund. And what the ministry has done, I think they're trying to standardize it, whether it be in rural or urban. So you'd find that all these description of works are there. Hence, that's where we actually borrowed the initiative of actually including the ceiling in this particular structure. Then, Chair, regarding the status, what the auditors looked at basically, I think there are just few portions in which the contractor needed to work as far as the ceiling was concerned. So what we did, if you would appreciate the list of materials, Chair, you won't find any materials regarding the ceiling, because we were engaging with the contractor, just trying to motivate them to complete the project. But of course, it took a lot of time, hence the reason why we ended up terminating. But at the time that we were terminating, he did manage to get the ceiling and place it and complete it, as well as also the tank for the water. So if you look at the list, these materials are not part of the list of things that we bought. I submit, Chair.
Thank you. Follow up, Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
The progress report on page 5 of your appendix A, where you are listing the projects, the status of the project. I just want you to confirm that a committee sat on 25th of July 2025. So, on 25th July 2025, you reported these works. And that is even when you made the resolutions, a resolution to terminate this particular contract on 25th of July. And here, you are confirming that the ceiling was completed. The audit took place 3 months later, which is in October. The audit took place 3 months later, which is in October. And the auditors found that the ceiling was outstanding. And in your explanation, you are saying there were, at the time of audit, there were some works, but the ceiling was not complete. So that is how. So, do you appreciate the problem that in your report here, you have reported that the ceiling was completed? 3 months later, the auditors visited and write a report. It shows that the ceiling was incomplete. Then there was second one is the minutes of the meeting that was held on 25th of July decided to terminate this contract, which you have outlined the reasons going towards even page 6. You have talked about lack of adequate supervision and the contract resources and non-performance, basis for project termination, breach of contract. Everything is justified. And the meeting resolved under page 7 that recommendations were immediate termination of the contract and also engagement of a competent contractor. A new contractor be engaged through a transparent and competitive procurement process. Furthermore, the committee was informed that the contractor was paid a total amount of, yes, which is consistent with the, what the auditors found. And then a decision of the committee, after lengthy deliberations on the matter, it was proposed by Siamwinga and duly seconded by Ronald Namachila. So it was resolved to terminate the contract, and the recommendations are as on article number 6. Contrary to this, you went ahead to implement a project under force account. Secondly is the decisions were confirmed on the 25th of July to terminate the contract. But when I check in your presentation, in your communication, the same appendix A, the contract was terminated on the 30th of June, 2025. The committee sat on 25th July to terminate the contract, and the resolutions made on the way forward. But a conditional termination letter, as in Appendix 1, was written to the contractor on 30th of June. That is a month before the committee sat to decide and resolve to terminate the contract. Why did it happen like that?
Yes, Director Engineering.
Thank you very much, Chair. My own, okay. Thank you very much, Chair. With your indulgence, I would like to lead the committee to the minutes in which the Honorable is referring and posing the questions. So the minute we sat was 25th November and not July. The July were previous minutes that were proven during that sitting. I thought I should probably guide Chair. I submit.
Not guiding, but responding to the question. You can look at the date of the minutes on top there, Honorable Member. It's 25th November. On page 1. Yes, of the minutes.
You look at the previous minutes, the previous meeting. So here, I saw a statement which is saying, page 2 of the minutes of the procurement committee, which was held on Tuesday, 25th November 2025 at 9:30. So on page 2, you are saying confirmation of minutes on the procurement committee meeting held on 25th July 2025. Yes, this meeting was held in November. When you held the meeting in November, you were confirming the resolutions. First item was to confirm the resolutions of the meeting that was held on the 25th of July. And it is confirmed on page on page 2. On page 2, the last paragraph, confirmation of minutes of the procurement committee held on 25th July 2025. So on 25th July 2025, that is when the committee sat and resolved to terminate the contract for the ablution block. But now, in November 2025, the first item obviously is to look at the confirmation of the previous committee meeting. How do you guide? What is your understanding of this statement?
Maybe the honorable member can go to page 4 of the same set of minutes, just to appreciate the deliberations, going up to page 7. I think this decision was decided on page 7, not on the meeting of July. So the decision is actually being taken on page 7. Do we have the set of minutes for 25th July?
Chair, we do not have. We just brought the extracts, Chair.
Okay.
Yes, and if it was resolved to terminate the contract in July, but the contractor received unconditional termination of the contract in June, that is a month before the procurement committee decided to terminate the contract.
Director Engineering, would you like to comment?
Chair, before the Director Engineering comes in, just like you guided, Chair, the 25th of July was confirmation of the minutes for the previous, but the decision to terminate was on 25th of November 2025. That's why the decision was actually made. So we thought that's the way it is, Chair.
There are two letters. Yes, there is where the honourable member is referring to is the first notice of termination of contract for the construction of ablution block is dated on the 30th of June. Yes, could you clarify, Director Engineering? We have also had sight of the actual termination dated 2nd December 2025. I think this is where the honourable member wants clarity.
Sure, Chair. Thank you very much. Chair, in the contract, it allows us to write to the contractor, giving them a notice for termination, which warranties us to give them 28 days before the official termination is done. So this notice was to tell the contractor to say, since you have not completed the project within the agreed extended time, then we are going ahead and terminating. So we sat, PC is the one that approves, and it's the one that sits again to terminate. So hence the meetings that we sat in November. But the actual communication to the contractor, I think it's dated, should be 2nd December.
I'm not an engineer, but in simple terms, you are saying this was just a notice, not the actual termination. But the termination came after the PC meeting of 24th November, which subsequently drew a notice of termination after on 2nd December, isn't it? It's you who's supposed to answer like that, not me to draw conclusions on your behalf. Huh? Could we move to another question, honorable members? On recovery of loans on page 17. CS, you are saying that in your action taken, sensitization campaigns have been carried out to educate beneficiaries on the importance of timely loan repayment. Do you have any evidence of these sensitization campaigns? We would like to learn with interest how these were conducted. Do you have any evidence of these meetings haven't been conducted?
August House Chair, we have not provided, but we did actually carry out the campaign.
When did you carry out the campaign? Yes.
It's very difficult, but maybe I can leave it to my socio-economic planner to just...
Madam, how did you conduct this campaign? Would you kindly enlighten your committee?
Thank you, Chair. The campaigns were conducted as a group when the council goes into community engagements and sensitizations. We come up with all departments and they all have something to say. So when the person responsible for CDF loans stands, they'll teach them the benefits of them paying back and how we need to make the loan keep going without governments giving us more money. Then we've seen the benefit, at least most have come and they've been paying back.
How did you call these people? Did you go in wards or you called them for a meeting?
We go in wards. We have the help of the councillors and the WDCs. So we'll go in wards and then meet them at a specific zone, then give them whatever that which we have.
Have you seen what CS gave us? Very beautiful, semi-detached, very beautiful toilet there. The mortuary, the fridge. We have desks there. Are you able to substantiate what you're saying with any form of pictures?
Thank you, Chair. Maybe we didn't see that we're supposed to bring that evidence, but...
Are you able to give us those photos to add to the report? Are they there?
If we can contact somebody from the office, or maybe my phone, yes.
You should kindly submit those photos to be part of the report.
Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, because you're talking about sensitization and would like to see as a committee, because on the loan component, I think this is the major thing that needs to happen, because it then leads to improvement of payment. So after the meetings, how much have you recovered? You have not stated how much you've recovered in your report, in your response. What is the current loan portfolio in terms of repayment? And has to go to Appendix N. Yes, you may switch on your mic.
Yes, Chair. I think there's a statement there from the bank that shows in terms of there's a statement from the bank that shows the status quo. If you check, Chair, you realize that I think we did recover almost about 1.3 against the total of about 3.6. So, Chair, that is the status quo. We would have loved to have made a small summary, Chair. I think from what the auditors actually did query at the time of audit, which I think when we were going through, I think we recovered almost about 600, because what was outstanding then was about, is it 1.8? So through those engagements, Chair, we are able to do some recoveries.
Okay, next time, I think give us that information in a table form, information which is clear for the understanding of your committee. Any other points of clarifications, honorable members? Honorable Dr. Mwanza?
The page 8.
Page 8. Yes, Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
This is in relation to the construction, actually page 7, in relation to the construction of a mortuary, a mini theater, and radiology at Nansenga Clinic. Contract given to Fiji General Dealers at 2,371,425. At the time of at the time of audit, the project was not complete. The major reason was management wishes to state that the query arose due to the contractor's failure to procure the mortuary equipment at the quoted bill of quantity rates, which were claimed to be below prevailing market prices. As a result, the contractor could not supply the equipment and duly declared the unutilized funds back to the local authority in accordance with the contractual obligations. The action that has been taken is that management retained the unutilized funds and subsequently requested additional funding from CDF 2026. It was approved and management has completed the procurement of the mortuary equipment and has installed it at the facility. Have you been funded 2026? CDF 2026. This for question number one. Number two, this was a full contract, and this Fiji contractor was the best evaluated bidder, who actually won this contract at 2,371,425, with the details of the project as detailed in the BOQ. He is executing the project, and one of the items that is supposed to supply is the mortuary unit, 9-body mortuary unit. Then he comes back to say, well, on the market, the unit price that I quoted is too low, and the employer succumbs to that excuse. You go and now seek funding, additional funding for 2026 to purchase the cadaver unit. Under what guidelines of procurement and contract management did you fit this situation? To use an isolated element in the scope of works to seek for more fundings, particularly just for that item. Under what kind of procurement conditions do you do that legally?
Yes.
Yes, Chair. Thank you so much for that question. Chair, first to start with, I think we are funded. I think about 2.8 million, which we were given. Just to answer that question of whether we were funded, we were funded for 2026 years as part of the from the total allocation. Chair, I think the equipment is not in isolation. It is part of it's part of the it's part of the BOQ. It's also included. It was not outside of the BOQ. And as such, it's all that I think we believed was that the contractor could not manage with the funds that were actually available for him to be able to pay that. However, Chair, when we looked at that could not be managed, hence we went forward to be able to ask that the funds, or like he said, the funds has to be retained, and we had to seek for additional funding. But let me ask the engineer to just also get into that contract management process, so that perhaps we can actually appreciate that, Chair.
Engineer.
Thank you very much, Chair. So just in addition, we did not just succumb to the contractor's claims. We also did our market research on knowing what the prevailing market prices for these equipment were. So we did realize that the one that was put in the BOQ 110 was quite low. In fact, in our interaction with the contractor, he actually wanted to even get a variation. But if you look at the quote that he actually provided us, that is almost a 529,000. But we were able to get it at 360 directly from the supplier. So those are some of the parameters that we considered before we reached our conclusion on how we should proceed.
In your original BOQ, how much did you put as the price for the freezer, for the mortuary unit?
Chair, is that the estimate submitted by the contractor or us?
Yours before you called for the bid. Yeah, before you called the bid for the suppliers to respond to, how much did you allocate as the amount for the mortuary unit?
Chair, our estimate was at 260.
260.
Yes.
And then the bidder bidded at 110. Do you have the initial BOQ with you?
From our end,
yes.
No. But for what the contractor submitted, I think we have an extract.
We want to rely on yours.
Chair, we don't have.
Yes, Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
Maybe for you to appreciate my question. This contractor, Fiji General Dealers, he competed with other bidders to be awarded this project. And he was the best evaluated bidder. Whilst executing this project, This project had a lot of other details. Construction of the mortuary, then also the mini theater, and radiology department. And that is how you even paid up to 1,458,081 kwacha. These, of course, are certified works. So amongst the item that was outstanding was the mortuary unit. Your confidential estimate and his rates that he provided, under which basis he won the contract. Why should you be concerned? Because he provided the rates himself, did the market research, and submitted the document, and he was best evaluated bidder. So on that item now, when he's supposed to supply, you go in and say, we have also searched around the market that the cadaver unit is now costing 500 or whatever amount, which we sympathize with you because you put 100,000 here. So we are going to go back to the CDF committee and seek for more funding to fund this item. And you went ahead to buy that unit by yourselves, not the contractor. Under what contract conditions in contract management would you interfere with his obligations? Further, you even go to seek for more funding from the CDFC and even delaying the services, the benefits to the people up to 2026. Why this? What type of this special condition? How does it? Maybe procurement can guide us here.
Yes, yes.
Then this cadaver unit, you are saying it has been fitted, right? It has been fitted. It has been fitted, and it is operational now.
Not yet, because the facilities are yet to be connected to the system.
How did you fit the mortuary unit inside the building? Because the mortuary structure, the building, was already built, and what was remaining was the cadaver, 9 body. In installing a mortuary unit, you would first construct the slab and bring the unit inside. Then you construct the structures, the superstructure. So in this case, it was procured just a few months ago, a few weeks ago, or something like this. How did you fit the cadaver unit inside the building, which was already roofed, which is the mortuary structure?
Yes, yes.
Engineer is going to answer, but let me just put it clear, Chair, that we didn't solicit to the contractor to have him or to lobby that we need to or we can do force accounts ourselves, or we can look for additional funding. If you check, there's a letter, Chair, I think, where the contractor himself requested the council that I'm unable to purchase, having completed everything, I'm unable to purchase the refrigerator, and because of the funding is quite limited. I think, which letters? Appendix.
Yes, engineer, you can add.
Appendix, just show me the appendix.
We have had sight of that later, yes?
Yes, please.
Yes, the other question, engineer?
So Chair, if you look at the pictures that we have provided, you would see these units are mobile units. They can be placed anywhere. Yes, that is number one. The number two, Chair, I think we've had experiences, like I myself have had experiences where I've done a mortuary with a different council. It's unfortunate that we did not come with a design, but we oversaw the type of equipment and its measurement. So the door that we left was actually bigger enough to accommodate the machine to be slid into the facility. Chair, I submit.
Was the mortuary unit that you gave to the contractor a 9-tire unit or 6 units?
So, Chair, initially from the bill of quantity, it was an entire unit that you were supposed to provide.
Okay, so due to time, Director Engineering, the problem lies actually on your department. Number one, you went and advertised for a mortuary unit, 9-tire, without undertaking due diligence as to ascertain the cost, the actual cost of the 9-tire. Your submission to the committee, you want to submit that no, actually we had to undertake due diligence and bought the fridge ourselves at 360. This is a 6 mortuary body unit, not 9-tire. So the mistake before you actually put out the tender for bidding, you should have actually checked how much this fridge was costing. And this is where the worry of Honorable Dr. Mwanza is. The contractor surrendering this part. Of course, you would want to ask about collusion. The next question I was going to ask you is, how did the contractor bid at 110 for a 9-tire body unit fridge so that he could just win the contract and not perform? So we note your governance and financial weaknesses, and you've seen the specific audit issues are to deal, with delayed completion of projects where for the 3 of them, you had to terminate, you had to use force account to complete the projects. As a committee, we want to advise that next time you need to ensure that you provide proper bill of quantities as the Directorate of Engineering, so that you do not delay the enjoyment of these facilities. Once there's a mismatch in the price that is coming from your directorate engineer, a delay will come because the contractor will not complete. In the end, they will abandon the project. And if the project is abandoned, the shortcut is to use a force account, which we do not encourage. CDF, we encourage that you call for participation of communities, businesses. The government would love communities to participate, thereby creating economic activity for companies to grow, to create employment for those companies that will get the tenders, not the council to do the work itself. There are also issues of, compensation when you terminate a contract. If I was the same contract, I would take you to court also. Say, look, you misled us here. But again, there was that issue I was talking about, collusion. How do you quote for a 9-tire fridge, mortuary fridge at 110? And the council accepts at bid valuation. It means we were favoring somebody to win this contract. So which shouldn't be the case, because in the end, it's actually our people that lose out. Our people lose out because this facility should have been provided in 2024. Here we are in 2026. It's not yet operation. So you see, the contractor could have gotten his money, the council could have done this, whoever was getting something could have gotten something. But the users themselves are found at a hard end where there is the delay of enjoyment of the facility, which they themselves are asked that should be built on their behalf. So that is the first thing. The second, governance and governance failure. I think this is what we're talking about. Failure to conduct proper market research for price verification, leading to contractors' inability to procure mortuary equipment, poor planning and disbursement process resulting in unspent government grant funds due to beneficiary having inactive bank accounts, inefficient management of the bursary and desk procurement processes, leading to unspent funds being reallocated, failure to recover outstanding loans under the CDF revolving facility, lack of timely follow-up and evidence to confirm the status of projects. So as we come to the end, CS, we advise that you strengthen contractor due diligence, monitoring and supervision to ensure timely completion, value for money and accountability for non-performance. Like I said, we re-emphasize on the end user departments to provide a proper BOQs. This acts as a red flag when a contractor has underquoted or overquoted, because then you are saying actually the cost is this, but why have they quoted for this? So it gives you a red flag immediately, either over or below. So Director Engineering, yes, go ahead, drink the water. It's been provided for you. Yes, yes. I can see that you are getting the point. So ensure that you guard against this. Yeah, because the delay is what we don't want as a committee. We want the people of Chikankata to have this facility, these facilities operating. Enhance financial management and planning to better align project implementation with actual funding levels and to prevent unspent balances due to administrative oversights. Strengthen loan recovery mechanisms to ensure the sustainability and continued impact of the revolving fund. On this, I think we have been telling all the councils that this is now purely a revolving fund, meaning that there is no more funds going to the loan component of CDF. We want to bank on the repayments of the principal amount and the interest. So, Madam, that evidence that I was asking you about, we would like you to call all the loan beneficiaries at one meeting. If you are going to go to wards, well and good, but call them at one meeting, talk to them. This is money meant to improve their businesses, to improve their capital, to give them cheap capital. They would not get any cheap capital other than CDF. Once they get this cheap capital, they need to now undertake the activities for which they had requested the loan, to grow their business. Once their business grows, we expect them to create employment. That is the value chain under which this component is expected to achieve. We would like to see sustained business activity within the district. So after these people pay back, you then now get another set of people also to benefit from the cheap capital and to also grow their own businesses. This can only be achieved by talking to these people. These people are known. They live within our district. They are known to the WDCs, the councillors. You're at the end. You don't know these people. You know them after they've successfully applied. You come in now to give them the technical, financial literacy trainings for those that may lack. You need to now enlighten them on the CDF guidelines and the expectation of them to repay back. Otherwise, you report them to where they are blacklisted, the Bureau of Loans. They will never get any loan if they do not pay back these loans. So we would want these loans to work. It's a very good initiative. The loans component of CDF is a very good initiative by the government to empower their people with cheap capital. They can't find this cheap capital from the bank. And this is the reason why we would love this thing to work. And it can only work if CS, our technocrats, hold meetings, not letters. If you send somebody a letter reminding them to just repay, they will not appreciate what this loan component is meant to be. would love to have sustained meetings with all the loan beneficiaries, not only in Chikankata, but throughout the country. The loan component of CDF is going to change districts economically because it provides cheap capital. And so we want to advise all the CS countrywide to ensure that they supervise and prevail on their director of planning, to ensure that meetings are held, trainings are held, post and before disbursement of CDF loans. Our immunity is now revoked, CS. Your report, except the delays, is not quite bad. Except the delays is not quite bad. We expect that you improve on these measures. Your own handwriting, you said you are going to review and improve. So we expect that you review and improve the weaknesses that have been discussed and highlighted in your report. Work on them so that the people of Chikankata can benefit from your operations and the CDF component, which is meant to improve and enhance service delivery around the country and for the people of Chikankata. Thank you for coming. You are free to leave.
Thank you so much, Chair, for according us this opportunity to actually make this submission before you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Here is an announcement. The National Assembly of Zambia wishes to inform all the candidates who attended interviews for various positions conducted between 13th November and 26th December 2025 that the recruitment and selection process has been concluded. Successful candidates have since been contacted and have been offered employment. Those who have not been contacted should consider themselves unsuccessful this time. The National Assembly of Zambia would like